The words and opinions you are about to hear are of the hosts and do not reflect the management, sponsors, or affiliates of Cave Radio Broadcasting.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
It's very exciting stuff. I think we're pretty much ready to go here with this podcast.
What the hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right on the computer.
And once we start recording, Frank, it means you stop eating those crackers. It's incredibly annoying. That's all anyone's going to be able to hear.
Well, why? You don't know. You call the turkey
Brad
hole.
Johnson
You don't know
called
why.
it. But let me show you what the turkey hole is. It's the turkey hole. It's the area when the corner rolls up, there's a hole between the safety and the corner. It's not an easy throw. You got to be able to rifle it in there, Sean. And I had a quarterback here in Green Bay who was able to do that at a high level. And now I'm watching, that's right, I'm watching one here, Matt Stafford, who makes a living putting the ball right there in the turkey hole.
To the end zone and caught by Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit.
That's quite a throw and catch. And takes off. They're going to fake the quick string, the golden tape, and throw a fly to Marvin Jones for his second touchdown tonight.
Division is just laid out there for the Vikings. Why can't the Lions win it? Like, serious question. Like, why can't the Lions win that division? We're halfway through the season. The Lions are sitting at 500, and the Vikings, I mean, I don't think they are great. So, like, what is stopping the Lions from being the team that win that division? Oh, my fault. I know the answer to that. They're the Lions. Sorry about that, guys.
Andre streets for Reggie. Back to the big man. A dynamite dump. And puts a little icing on the cake.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
I would say probably since my first year in Miami, having this many new bodies. You know, for me, you know, my first year in Miami, obviously I hadn't played with none of those guys up until that point.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
You stuff that.
Welcome in the SRD Roadshow here on SportsRadioDetroit.com and CRBRadio.com on a Saturday. Bless you, Mike.
Bless you. That was me, man.
That was a montage, and so the following clips are from Monday Night Football.
Turkey hole, man.
The turkey hole, the right time of Bonnie Jones. The Pistons broadcast from Fox Sports Detroit. LeBron James talking at a press conference, and I believe, what else did I have in there? I had a
Porzingis finally ready to be the man. Boston is surging.
Oh, you're talking about in the little clips you played.
In the clips. In the clips. And the Ric Flair, which the 30 for 30, which we'll if we have time. Limousine riding.
Jet flying.
Kiss
stealing. Wheeling and dealing. Son of a gun.
Yeah. It's been quite the week in sports and quite the week in entertainment as well. So if you're a Louis C.K. fan.
I love Louis C.K.
Are you? Hang on, let's be honest. Are you really shocked with like the stand-up that he does?
No, that's exactly why I'm shocked, because he has to know that that's not okay when he talks the way he talks in his job. Like, all of his comedy it's perverse, but that's what made it funny. Now it's just weird and scary. And
now, you know what though, the thing that really kind of bums me out a little bit is that when people are like, "Well, how'd you not hear about the rumors?" Because I don't pay attention. Why
do
I get punished?
The Hollywood gossip?
Yeah, Why do I get punished for not following Hollywood?
We punish you enough for not watching Top Gun. You're fine.
Yeah,
and Lion King. Oh, and the female from what's the Charlemagne that got what's the name of the morning show? She hasn't seen Lion King either, and I gave her crap about it every chance they can. Okay. I was like, oh, that's just like Roger.
But, I mean,
that's just you guys need to get together and watch the Lion King and talk about it.
And speaking of the Lions were king on Monday against Green Bay. That's a segue. That's a damn segue. That is a segue.
That's a walk-off.
That's a walk-off segue there.
That's a walk-off.
The Lions, despite without Aaron Rodgers, winning the Green Bay, and now what Jim Caldwell's record in Green Bay is 4-2, something like that. Was it 2-2?
No, he's 2-2.
2-2. Yeah,
how many of them games was Aaron Rodgers not playing in? Is this his second time breaking his collarbone?
One. I think it was only this last game he wasn't playing.
I feel like not last year, but the year before that, he broke his collarbone and he wasn't. We didn't play him that year either.
No, 2013 he broke his collarbone,
and then we got destroyed by Matt Flynn that game. Wasn't that 2013?
Yeah. And he got
See, that's why I don't buy the whole. Oh, you didn't beat the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. Lions couldn't beat the Packers with or without Aaron Rodgers. You take this win and you run it to the bank.
That's
hard.
Because a win's a win. Because in 10 years, you look back at the record, it's not going to have an asterisk next to it saying Aaron Rodgers didn't play. So
and you can hear Ben and Marty talk about it more in the current episode of Lions SRD, though, which is not available on the site.
I still would pay $10,000 to smash a 2x4 across that man's face. Aaron Rodgers, not Marty.
Yeah, so
seriously, I would mortgage, like if I had a house, I would put a second mortgage on my house for him just to stand with his hands tied behind his back and me swing like Miguel Cabrera hitting a home run.
I was going to ask about that at another time and ask about if you want me to get a grief counselor or some sort of
no, it's not.
Therapist.
I just hate how smug he is and how good he is. I hate him for both. He's too talented.
What about good looking?
He's a rugged-looking man. So
he is very rugged.
You can find it on the website, sportsradiodetroit.com, and click on the current podcast that was up. That was posted, I believe, Thursday. Thursday was posted. So.
Hey, real quick, though, what I was about to say before the show started, John Gruden, it always looks like he just puts his coat on right before the camera hits on him because it's never, like, tight. There's always like a gap between a shirt and a suit, and it bothers me every single week.
Maybe it's because the faces he makes, the strangest
face.
At
the beginning, that's what I'm saying, and he makes those faces where he's like trying to push out a turd and be aware of the conversation at the same time. But I love John Gruden though.
I do too.
But
I'll take that weird face every day.
I don't really like John Gruden's turkey hole that much. So.
No, the turkey hole thing got out of hand. But look at Green Bay. You look at that fact that Brett Hundley did not throw a pass over 10 yards. He kept himself very conservative. And there's a lot of – look at the film itself. There was a lot of wide-open passes he missed. And the Lions, offensively speaking, are still having the same challenges in terms of just running the ball, predictably, first down. What was that, Ben? What was the percentage on that? Like almost – was it every single drive almost? Or like
they only threw the ball twice on first down throughout the entire game.
One was to Eric Ebron for a completion if you want to get even weirder.
Like if you don't have a run game, you can't do that. You're gonna
not just that.
You're going to have to pass on first down from time to time. So every single time they know it's going to be a run.
It's scheme. That's all it is. It's scheme. Because anytime, and this was through the first quarter, because I was looking it up while the game was going on. 7 of 8, and that's when the one that they didn't run on first down was the pass to Ebron. But one of those 7 was also a pop pass to Agnew. You know if he's in the game, he's getting the ball. It's like when Jabril Peppers at Michigan ran the Wildcat. What are they going to do? Oh, I don't know, maybe run the goddamn football? So, like, they're not even getting creative with the running game. It's just, hey, got to go off tackle. All right, now. Same play, other side. Okay, now after that, off tackle again. They won't even know it. They won't even see it coming.
And it's another week of the defensive end saying that we could time their count. You know what I mean? Like the offense is very predictable. It's the same thing from last year. We had the same conversation. Not we, 'cause I wasn't here last year, but
hey, you were.
Was I?
You were. You've been here a year.
But
yeah, tail end of last year. Yeah, that's right.
You've been here a year.
Yeah, so had the same conversation last year where it's very predictable. And that's why I said Cooter's going to be the coach of Tennessee next year.
I like the Peppers analogy because you can't just run him up the middle against good teams. It might work against bad teams because he's that good. But I like that analogy because in the pros, you can't just run guys up the middle unless you have a really good line. And the Pistons, Lions offensive line isn't that good right now.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you can't just run. You got to be more creative.
the short yard issues are apparent. And Ben, is there any, in terms of even off, like in terms of their draft strategy too, the short yard issues aside with the offensive line? Is there
to me, I just think it's scheme. I don't think it's personnel.
So it's not even personnel. So
I
even
don't
like
think it's personnel.
like a fullback or something like they could. It just seems like the Lions don't have. So even with even a change of scheme or even like a bigger fullback or something. So does it?
What I honestly would do, because the Lions have the personnel for it, the perfect personnel for it, I'd run out of the pistol, and they kind of do right now run out of the pistol. But I would do the base formation, pistol formation. Like one thing that pissed me off, and I spoke about it on Lions SRD. When you were in the red zone, you had Abadaris going in motion, and then he'd stop at the line of scrimmage and then just block. No one anticipated Abadaris ever getting the ball, not even thrown to him or anything. Why not do a pop pass to Abadaris as he's running in motion? Keep people flat-footed, attack the edge, which on that side it would have been the boundary, which is just the short side of the field. But I just think it's scheme. I think it's a directive from Bob Quinn because he's said repeatedly, I want to be able to run the football. You need to run the football to keep teams honest. So Jim Bob Cooter's like, fine, you want to run the football? I'll run the football for you. And he doesn't get creative with it. He doesn't mix in play-action pass. He doesn't do hard counts. He doesn't do counters. I mean, yes, there's cutback holes that Abdullah finds, which is great, but it's more often than not, the Lions don't pull because they're not a power team. They're more of a spread team. So it's zone blocking. That's what I'm talking about. It's scheme. If you want, because you have two good running backs in Abdullah and Riddick. Riddick can run in between the tackles. Yeah. He doesn't do it often. He can do it. And he can find a cutback hole because he did it for 4 years at Notre Dame.
He's really good when he's in open space.
Did he have a big run? Yeah, a 25-yard run. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. Get creative. Like, mix it up. Stir the pot a little bit. JBC's not doing that. He just gets a directive and says, "Okay, you want me to run the football? I'll run the football." And it's not schematically advantageous to help a guy like Stafford set up play action or even move the pocket and roll the pocket. He stopped doing that with Stafford for whatever reason. Stafford would only get better if he actually had a running game. I mean, this is a guy for consecutive weeks has thrown over for 400 yards, and the running backs are still getting more than 15 carries a game. That should never happen. At some point, you have to help your team and scheme better so that when he is throwing 35 times, maybe it's only for 350 yards. But I will give Stafford credit for this. Without a running game on Monday night, because the Packers' defense doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, never had Aaron Rodgers.
Their defense has been flawed.
They blitzed him, and Stafford never threw an interception and still threw for 250 yards against the blitz.
Well, coming into the season, we were already, not we, but stats were already saying that Green Bay and New Orleans are going to have the worst secondary. You know what I mean? So they really haven't had great defense.
But they have a front seven has barely changed.
They have a quarterback that's going to put up 30 points. So it doesn't really matter. Like the defense, don't let them score 30. All right. So they've had good games. Their defense has never been good.
Clay Matthews, I think.
Their defense has always been middle of the league.
Clay Matthews, I think, is done being an elite linebacker too. I think.
Well, he can't run. He can't rush the edge anymore.
Every single.
I agree.
You can close your eyes for the first down play and then open your eyes for a second. I guarantee it's going to be 2nd and 12 or 2nd and 13. That's
what I'm saying. It's
the
scheme.
Entire game. 2nd and 13, 2nd and 12. Like,
exactly.
Stop running the ball every single first down.
And you know what Ben was saying earlier about how Theo Riddick can run between the tackles. I think that not only is it scheme, I don't think the Lions are properly using their running back personnel at all.
No.
I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I think Theo Riddick might have earned a couple more carries throughout a game. He gets 2 to 3 carries a game rushing, and when you see Theo in the game, you know they're going to pass it. So why not mix it up? Why not get the ball in Theo Riddick's hands? Because like Brian was saying, when he's in open space, he's a good runner. He doesn't have to catch it. I don't know. And
nothing's going to change because we had the same conversation a year ago.
The year ago was totally different.
But, okay, I understand Abdullah was injured. Riddick was getting a lot more a lot more looks, and he was doing great. So I understand that you want to keep him healthy, but give him the looks you were giving him last year.
Yeah.
We were doing solid.
I don't understand why Riddick's not playing as much as he did last year. Every time he was in the game last year, there was a big play bound to happen.
And he got an extension last year.
And I feel like it's like he's handled like fragile glass.
Yeah. I mean, because it was either a big play or he was kind of limping like last year. So of course, okay, they want to try to preserve his health, but give him the looks you're not. Like before last game, I think he only had like 10 plays the week before that. You know what I mean? So he's not getting the playing time. I do not like our offensive play calling in the slightest bit.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, and they do have a team that's going to help him with that this week.
Fun times in Cleveland today.
Oh, God.
Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone.
Come and really should try some stuff.
If for sure.
I'm so glad Bianca's not here to yell at me.
If they had a quarterback, Cleveland would be good.
Yeah, they do have. They
will say this.
We have
they
a
got
back,
Gordon
though.
back.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
But he can't come back to the December 5th.
Oh, really?
No, November 27th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah, but that's a Monday, so he can't play until the first Sunday in December. So,
but I will say this with Cleveland's defense, they are the best in the league at stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Teams average 2.9 yards a game against them. So
they won't have.
So the running game is going to look like garbage on Sunday. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
For sure.
And then it was a strange move announced that Eric Ebron will be the captain for Sunday's game, which.
How does that happen?
I have no idea. Perhaps it's a move to boost his confidence. I'm not sure. But Lions come in. Browns are still 0-8. And
yeah, they are.
Really, you could talk about this game being a trap game. The Browns are going to play. They have as Ben just mentioned, Myles Jarrett has been playing very well.
Is he out?
Devin McCourty's been doing very well as well.
He got destroyed last week for snitching a concussion. You know what I mean? And everybody was giving him slack. Oh, hey, you're not a man, blah, 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 because he self-reported that he may have a concussion. Now, I thought that was garbage.
It is garbage.
You're supposed to tell people when you have a concussion.
Not now, but 5 years ago and before that, you man up, you tighten up, you get back in the game.
But that's how football used to be before they realized the brain injuries it causes, It's our understanding of concussions has come a long way, and it's kind of scary to think about how that's how football players used to be, honestly.
If anybody has not seen that Will Smith movie, Concussion.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You have to.
I heard it's good.
It's really good. I learned some things. I love Will Smith, but I learned some things.
Yeah, but here is the thing about the Lions game this week against the Browns. The Browns are a joke. You look at what happened in the trade deadline. They were looking to get a quarterback.
A.J. McCarron.
Oh, man. That was
the way
great.
it was poorly handled. Cleveland has been, the analytics, they had a baseball guy who's running the department right now, and the organization just gets worse and worse. And it's just, you think that...
they have a lot of injuries, though. You know what I mean?
They're healthy. Mike, I don't buy that anymore. They're as healthy as they've been all season long.
I mean, they're still getting things together. Last year, they gave up the most sacks.
How many years have we been saying that though? Cleveland's been saying that for years.
They don't have a quarterback. All right, their top tackle.
They never had a quarterback.
Their top tackle's done for this season. Their top wide receiver's done for this season. The other top wide receiver's smoking pot. You know what I mean? They don't have.
Oh, Josh Gordon's been a non-factor for years.
I understand that, but Corey Coleman, you know what I mean? He hasn't been. They don't have a quarterback. All right.
Okay,
and then
but
they
whose
gave
fault
up.
is that?
They
Whose
gave up
fault
the
is that?
most. You act like I own the Cleveland.
I'm not.
or something.
I'm sorry.
But,
I'm not going to sit here and excuse the Cleveland Browns.
0-8 is unexcusable no matter what happens.
Injuries
happen to everybody.
That's also bad coaching as well. You don't start a quarterback, pull him in the second half, start him next week, pull him in the second half, give him a game off, and then give him the starting quarterback.
I have a question.
That's stupid.
I have a question. Who has the worst front office at this period of time?
Cleveland.
Let me finish the question. Matt Millen during that period of time, or the Cleveland Browns?
Matt Millen.
I still say Cleveland because I will say this: the Lions, even under the Millen era, could facilitate a trade. Cleveland couldn't. Granted, yes, Matt Millen was stupid and said, I'm going to take a wide receiver 5 straight years in the first round. Okay, but at least when he wanted to trade someone, he could.
And he could, yeah.
And it wasn't this whole hatchet job, because I'm telling you, if you read the Cleveland Plain Dealer, it's been widely reported that the front office sabotaged the deal at the last minute. It's been widely reported because people inside the front office are giving reporters email conversations about how they really want to nix this trade. So even with Matt Millen and the debacle of him setting back the Lions for a decade, why do you think Cleveland has sucked for longer than a decade? They can't even, and this is a team too that trades all the time. But they don't have people inside their front office sabotaging it.
I actually like the Browns. I like their squad, but I don't like their coaching right now. I mean, I understand. Look, they've had top picks. They got good people. They don't have a quarterback. I do not like what they've done with their quarterback this year. Even last year, they got the most sacks. It was like if you were the Cleveland Browns quarterback last year, you were guaranteed to be sacked at least 7 to 8 times every single game. That's why they went through like 6 quarterbacks the entire year. Their O-line was trash. Then they stepped their O-line up because they had a lot of money to spend, but there's still people been injured. I mean, they haven't had some of their top players with a crappy QB. Deshaun Kaiser's your quarterback.
But
No.
that's where it falls on the front office, because
Exactly.
there's people in the front
Exactly.
office
Bingo.
that liked Carson Wentz. Did they draft Carson Wentz? No. They liked Derek Carr. Derek Carr, 4th rounder. They let him go by multiple times.
Yep.
And Derek Carr is not, granted, people want to say, oh, he's this next-rate quarterback. No, he's a good quarterback. He's not great yet. And Cleveland could have had him. They could have had him 3 separate times before he was drafted. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And
I mean, this whole Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback, that's because they choose not to draft a quarterback with the billion draft picks they have.
Or bring in somebody good like Kaepernick.
I mean, they did draft Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Another
But
bad decision.
after he flames out, what do you have to do? Find a replacement. I mean, just because one quarterback bites you in the ass does not mean you can't be like, all right, well, there's this really good kid out of North Dakota that everyone likes, pretty smart kid, can throw the football. Hey, do you guys think we should draft him? No, because Johnny Manziel screwed us. Let's go somewhere else.
So that sounds like
we're a cornerback like Justin Gilbert, who sucks and is now out of the league? Awesome. Let's take him.
It sounds like a junior high like mentality there. And the thing is, especially, I mean, you look at some of the bright spots, if any. Duke Johnson's been having a strong year for them in terms of running the ball, but
Coleman comes back pretty soon.
Kaiser, I don't necessarily blame him. He's just been put in a position not to succeed.
Notre Dame sucks.
Yeah, well, no, don't get me started on that.
You know what I mean? So he came from Notre Dame, so he's a crappy quarterback. He sucks. He shouldn't be starting.
Well, we'll get to Notre Dame in the second hour with Miami and Notre Dame. We'll preview it. We'll do a college football thing. But you look at the fact that the Lions haven't played really good at home either. The Lions are 1-3 at home this year. So the Lions are 3-1 on the road, which is strange.
There's an
even
asterisk there.
Oh yeah.
Because they beat the Falcons.
If they lose, which they're not going to. People should be fired.
Yeah, if the Lions lose on Sunday, then it's that
people should be fired.
Oh,
they should totally renege the contract extension to Jim Caldwell and be like, hey, we lied.
Yeah, no, there's a provision in there that says if you lose to crappy teams. By the way, I'm actually going to the Browns game next week in Cleveland. You may ask why. Because we're going to a restaurant. That's really where we're going.
Cheap tickets.
Yeah,
cheap tickets, that too.
dirt cheap.
The dirt cheap tickets. That stadium.
Who are they
awful.
playing next week?
The Jags.
That's a good game.
That'll actually be fun.
Yeah,
that's a good game.
Well, before that, before when we went, we got them before I think week 1 when I didn't know what Jacksonville was. Now that Jacksonville is pretty good, it's gonna be an entertaining game. And I go there in neutral colors because they hate anything Michigan or anything Detroit based. So it'll be.
That's why I felt like they should have signed Kaepernick because they're not in a big market. No, what about the bad press? Nobody cares about Cleveland anyway. I mean, I feel like he could have easily went to Cleveland and nobody would have really even cared.
Dude, Kaepernick was one of the worst quarters his last 16 games in the league.
I'm
telling you.
He's a product of Jim Harbaugh.
But wait, let me ask you two a question then. What's San Francisco's record right now?
You're right. He should be signed.
Okay.
But the fact that people...
I'm not talking about he should be signed for them. I'm saying what's San Francisco's record right now? Have they won a game?
I don't think so.
So the team that
they're also 0-8.
So the team that he played on, who got a bad record last year, has still winless. I don't think it's his fault. You lose a new coach
He's not
every single
helping
year.
them.
A new coach every single year. A new offensive and defensive coordinator every single year. The team you left is 0-8 right now. That has nothing to do with him.
I think it does.
All right, so guys,
because you look at his numbers and it has everything to do with them.
Look at the team right now.
This is my way to ring you guys back
They
in.
still suck.
This is my way to ring you back in. So when you hear this, we're going back to it. So.
I just assumed you were saying Mike was wrong and I was agreeing.
I mean, that's
with
a
you.
good, well, that's a good discussion.
I'm
though.
glad you did that,
yeah,
Roger, because I could talk Kaepernick for days.
Yes,
so.
but you guys, to be fair, if I'm going to be the judge in that conversation, Mike is wrong. All right, so coming up on the next, we're going to be going. We're going to start a new segment called Horse. As we're going to be, it's a simple little thing. If you play basketball, you probably played horse. I'm assuming you played horse.
I hope you played horse.
I hope you played horse.
I was a fan of lightning.
You're lightning. What's lightning?
What?
What?
Yeah,
you don't know what lightning?
You know what horse is, but you don't know what lightning.
No, what's
is.
lightning?
Where you have a line behind you at the free throw line. You take a shot after you shoot. The guy behind you can shoot, and you try to eliminate the person in front of you.
You have to make it before the first guy does.
Was that during if you played on a team?
No, that was like, hey, it's gym class. What do you guys want to do? Hey, let's play lightning.
Definitely.
I never did that. We never
What?
did that. No, we never did it. We did
What?
We usually.
What'd you guys do? Actually play a pickup game of 5-on-5?
Well, to be fair, we didn't have a gym in our school. We had a hall, so we did like floor hockey and stuff like that. So we didn't have a rim at all.
Oh man,
I can.
You do now, I think.
Yeah, we do now, but I'm saying like and even when we
wait, Cabrini has his gym.
Not my elementary school didn't. My elementary school didn't.
Okay, but even at like Cabrini, like you guys never played lightning.
When I played basketball, when I played freshman basketball, we never did lightning. We did other things. We played 21. We played
21 a lot.
Yeah, or we played.
21 was that game.
Yeah,
still is.
Yeah, we played tips. That's when I started figuring out how to
play
tips.
I love tips.
Yeah, tips. But we're playing horse. We'll say 5 topics around the NBA we're going to talk about. And I'm going to give you guys 5 questions. We're going to go around and talk about the NBA a little bit. We'll talk Pistons. They won again last night. It was an ugly win against the Hawks, who are off to a terrible start. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to much more here on the SRD Roadshow on CRBRadio.com and SportsRadioDetroit.com. We'll be back after the break. Actually, that's not what the song I wanted. Try that again. All right, we're back here. SRD Roadshow here on CRBRadio.com. And it's time for the fourth segment. The first segment we've done. I give you guys 5 NBA questions and go around the room talking about it a little bit. The Pistons we'll save till last. We'll do kind of a segment about the Pistons. So topic number 1, or H, if you will. Dwayne Wade, who's been coming off the bench, the experiment looks like it's been working a little bit. He was complaining earlier, doing the passive-aggressive thing, complaining, and it seems like now he is finally coming around about it. Gentlemen, is it just short-term PR thing that he's coming off the bench and being happy about it, or what do you guys think so far?
I think he'll eventually be a starter because J.R. Smith hasn't done a thing this year. And it's D. Wade. Yes, he's getting old, but he's still D. Wade. He can still get you 15 and 5 on any given night. So I think right now, I don't even know if it's a PR thing. I think it's just, it has to be because the fact that JR is starting over D. Wade is just, it's blasphemy right now.
I think you guys might have missed something. D. Wade, it was actually Dwayne Wade's idea to come off the bench. He admitted a couple weeks ago that he does not feel like he understands where he fits in this Cleveland offense. So he went to the team and said, maybe I should come off the bench, maybe try to find a role as that scorer off the bench. And I think what he's trying to do, he wants to be the 6th man on that team. But it was Dwayne Wade's choice to come off the bench. And I think that that's just microcosm of the Cavs. They're not playing well together right now.
I mean, the one thing he pointed out the starters for struggling against the loss against the Hawks earlier in the season. So it is. I mean, Rose is on a minute restriction because basically, if you push him the wrong way, he'll break apart. So and look. If
Are you saying when you cross him over, he actually breaks his ankles?
Essentially, that's probably what will happen.
Okay.
If you would have told me that.
Just wanted to make sure.
I can see. You know what I can see happening, Ben? Some kid's gonna come up to me at the playground. And go, hey, Jalen or Derrick Rose, can you shoot this ball for me? Sign the autograph. He signs the autograph, and the kid goes, "Hey, kid, I'll shoot this for you." Goes shoot up a jumper, and he goes fades back, and he falls back, and he breaks his back as he's falling back to shoot a fader away.
Or just a pickup game at Rucker Park, and you're just like, hey, and then 2 minutes in, snaps his ankle.
Jeff Green, if you would have told me that Jeff Green has been playing this well for Cleveland, I thought you guys were a bit nuts.
I mean, Jeff Green was playing great in Memphis.
Yeah,
he's always been a solid role player.
Yeah, he's always been a solid role player, wingman. I like Jeff Green.
I think he's a great addition for this Cavs team.
Yeah.
And they need all the role players they could get.
And every year, I mean, if you play fantasy basketball,
they can afford.
Those guys actually matter, like in the playoffs and finals. Like that's why they didn't really succeed last year against the Warriors. Granted, it's the Warriors, but guys didn't step up who needed to step up. That's it was always the Kyrie and LeBron show.
Yeah, and so for right now, I mean that's Cleveland's it's gonna take some time. It's still early on in the season, but Dwayne Wade seems to be effective. Number 2 or the recent trade. There's been a trade. It was early this week. It's Eric Bledsoe disgruntled, and the whole situation in Phoenix, which was just nasty, where the GM was saying he was at a hair salon. Bledsoe was saying he was in a barbershop, whatever, all this weird WWE-like drama. Trade Bledsoe to the Bucks for old Piston favorite Greg Monroe.
Cap dump.
Cap dump. Essentially, Eric Bledsoe, Milwaukee needs a guy who can create their own shot. Gentlemen, is this a good trade to make Milwaukee an instant trade or instant contender in the East?
Well, I think it was a good trade, but I also think that the Bucks are going to have to find another Greg Monroe coming off their bench. Now, we all remember Greg Monroe when he was here. He was our starter. He was a double-double machine. He was terrible on defense. What he's done since he's gotten to the Bucks is he's actually turned into arguably the best defensive bench player in the league. He comes off the bench, and he plays solid defense. And I think the Bucks are going to miss that, but what they got in Eric Bledsoe is they got another guy. They really didn't have that guy that could score, and I think Eric Bledsoe is going to give them that with Giannis. And I don't really know how this team's going to turn out, but I mean, I could see that.
They got some good. They got some good pieces. I like the trade just because Monroe, he's a bum. You got a person come off your bench. He's making $20 million. That's a bad deal right there. So
for sure,
it was a cash dump. I mean, they gave him basically a bum off the bench making $20 million and a first round pick. Now, if they're good this season, then the first round pick is going to be top 20. So that means so the pick is nothing. So they basically gave him a ham sandwich for the deal. I like Bledsoe. He's a really good scorer if he can stay healthy. My only thing is I liked Malcolm Brogdon as the point prior to them getting him. I mean, they got a good draft pick on him, as well as they got a nice all-around team. They got Jabari Parker, who's not even playing right now, really.
I'm interested to see what they do with Brogdon and Bledsoe, because you can't just switch those guys from the 1 and the 2. They're both point guards.
You could put Bledsoe at the 2. I mean, that's the other thing. Giannis was playing the 1 at times. You know what I mean? So that's basically gonna take him away from playing the 1. But they can play Brogdon 1, Bledsoe the 2, and Giannis the 3, or whatever 3 through 5, because he can play all 5 positions.
Yeah, I was gonna say Giannis point forward last year was some of the most fun basketball I've ever watched. Seeing him bring it up the floor.
That's why I love Ben Simmons.
Plus, it doesn't hurt to have a guy like Brogdon come off the bench.
Yeah, because I mean,
if you want true depth,
it's his second year. You know
well,
what I mean?
Right, but if you want true depth, when Bledsoe's sitting, if you don't want to have any drop off in production, Brogdon can come off the bench and help you keep leads or get back into games too.
Just like they got that at the center position. They got John Henson, who's a beast, and then Thon Maker, who I think is going to be.
Thon Maker.
I think he's going to be a star later on in the league. You know what I mean? So the Bucks, I mean, they were a top 4 or 5 team last year. I see them being the same thing.
I think they were 6th last year.
Yeah, I believe they were 6th.
I give Bucks the 4th.
I think if they trade Parker, they could get something to get. If Parker comes back around the All-Star break, simply put, because if he comes back, he's effective. You don't want to ruin that team chemistry. Get a center, get something back in return for him to help you out. They don't need a center though. And they got John. No, what I meant like for a backup center, get a backup center draft pick, help you build the team.
I say keep them. They don't really need too much. I mean, because it's center, John Henson, Thon Maker. Okay, that's your 1 and 2. You don't need much more than that. All right, you got your first and second point guard. You know what I mean? Like he has good talent. They don't need him as a starter. He could be that second wave. They don't need to trade him away for anything unless somebody gets hurt between now and then.
It wouldn't hurt to trade him though, because the dude's hurt.
Yeah,
every year.
I was gonna say, Brian.
He's a starter though. I mean, there's a lot of people who are
injured. He's not playing.
Look at Sean Livingston. He had a gruesome injury. His body's not made to be a starter. Some people's bodies are made to be backups. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be playing 35 minutes a game. If you can get that talent out of him in 15 minutes, I mean, they were playing him 35 minutes a game because they needed to. They don't need to play him that many minutes.
Or they'll trade him and probably get some value out of him if they feel like they can get something. So getting some value, by the way, is he ready to be the man in New York? The Knicks right now are off to a 6-5 record. They've been in every single game. There's kind of a buzz around him. There has been a buzz around him, period, but it seems like this year he's become more aggressive. He seems to have taken this ownership in this team. You see kind of a meter streak with him, too, as well. Offensively speaking, the Knicks-wise defensively have been, they are a little better than they are. Not too much better, but they seem cohesiveness. Knicks seem a little better. What do you guys think of Porzingis finally kind of stepping up to be the man?
I think he's always, as soon as he came into the league, he's shown that he has.
He also, by the way, set the scoring record through 10 games, by the way.
He's 7 feet. He's over 7 feet. He can play the one. He can shoot. He can play D. And he's shown this from the very beginning since he's come into the league. And I only see him getting better. I only see the Knicks getting better under him. And this year, the Knicks are a little better because you got certain role players who are able to do their job, like Tim Hardaway. He can always score for you. That's one guy. So he has guys around him this year. And as bad as the East is, it's a crapshoot. I mean, the Knicks could be a playoff team this year. You never know. If Porzingis continues on this tangent, I can see the Knicks as a playoff team.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree.
Yeah, me too.
The Knicks, they're playing with fire. Look, Porzingis is great, and he's going to be great, and you can already see it. But as we've seen in the past, it takes more than one player to get a team really going. And Porzingis, yeah, he's great, but who else is going to be on that team? Tim Hardaway, while great so far, is not going to be a guy that you can rely on all season. He's never shown it, and he's never started before, really, except on mediocre teams. So while it's great that they're off to this start, I don't know. I don't know how you lose Carmelo and then make it to the playoffs. It just seems...
Well, even with Carmelo, they suck. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that goes back to your point. Like, you can't just...
It can't be one guy.
Yeah, it can't be a one-man show.
Absolutely, and that's the only reason why I would say Porzingis will probably get his. His stats are going to look great all year. But unfortunately, I don't think that team has enough talent around them. I think there are other East teams that have more talent.
They are getting better, though. I don't think
there's no
they
denying.
will necessarily be a playoff team. I'm saying there's a chance just because the East is so bad.
And their coach, sorry, Mike, just wanted to say their coach, everybody thought that Jeff Hornacek hire was kind of interesting. But, I mean, could it have been any worse than it was the past couple of years? I mean,
the Knicks suck. I don't think Porzingis is going to stay healthy through the entire year because they're going to ask too much of him. I got the Knicks in the bottom 5 with the Hawks, Bulls, Nets, and Pacers. You know what I mean? I don't care what you're saying. The Knicks are not going to make the playoffs. They suck. If you got Joakim Noah, the second highest paid player in your team is trash. All right, you got Joakim Noah, who's on the team, making second highest. Okay, you got Ernest Cantor, who's a great center, but he's not anybody who's going to take over a team. You got Tim Hardaway on your team. You got a bunch of just has-beens. I guarantee you, 10th or 11th. They're the number 8 pick that they picked. The point guard is on the second string behind Jarrett Jack. If your number 8 pick in the latest draft is on the bench coming behind Jarrett Jack, it was a bad choice. Bad people on the team. Knicks suck.
That just goes to what I was about to say just real quick. Phil Jackson did help sabotage the Knicks team.
He did.
So
Oh yeah, he's got the heart of a Laker. That's why. Forget the Knicks. They stink. They're not going to make the playoffs. They don't need to. They need They need to stink to get a high draft pick to actually make their team good, because nobody wants to go to the Knicks right now. So they need to be in the lottery to get a good player.
They'll be
so they
setting
can be
up
good.
to be. I think that the Knicks in the next year or two will be a destination city. It's the mecca of basketball. It will be the way it is. After Phil Jackson, Carmelo's gone, it will be the way that.
And
is.
after LeBron James becomes a Knick.
And then, I mean, but
Or
Porzingis may or may not stay. You know what I mean? So
we'll see.
He will if LeBron James comes by.
We'll go to R, or excuse me, we already went to R, but we went to S. Boston has won 11 in a row. They played last night. By the way?
They won last night.
So
11 in a row.
no, so that's 12 in a row.
they were.
Last night was 11.
It was 11 in a row. Okay.
They were down by 18.
Yep.
And then they came back. They lost Kyrie early in the game. Not really early, but second quarter. You know what I mean? And Al Horford wasn't playing. So it shows that they're a good team. But they had a lottery pick the past 3 years. You know what I mean? So if you don't,
are you gonna be cynical about every single team?
I'm saying listen to what I'm saying for a second. You have no idea what I'm about to say, so just chill for a second. The Celtics are great, but you have great players on that team like Kyrie. Are you trying to say you're going to have a lottery pick the previous 2 years and have those players on your team? Your team's going to still stink? No, like that team is great front office. They got great players on their team. So who cares that IT left? I mean, they traded IT away, and Gordon Hayward shattered his leg. That's a great team with great players. You know what I mean? So I wasn't hard on them when they lost Hayward, because with all the forwards they drafted and with him, and the stats with him, like they have the forwards to make that team great, and that's the reason why they're good.
They'd be great if they had Gordon Hayward and Al Horford healthy. That starting lineup is scary. That starting lineup is the number 1 seed in the East.
I'm not going to lie. I'm scared of the Boston Celtics, too, because like we did explain earlier, the Cavs are getting old. I'm still going to ride with my Cavs, but the Celtics, man, they're
going to take the 1 seed for sure.
I don't think it's going to be even close, but I also don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers really care about their seed.
No, they don't.
Yeah, like last year they had the 2 seed.
But with the Celtics, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Mike. They've had a lot of high draft picks, but so did Cleveland. I think when it comes down to Brad Stevens, best coach in the NBA.
Yes,
I'm just gonna say.
I
right
agree.
now.
But you look at the way he's distributing minutes right now. Jaylen Brown and with Jason Tatum. Everybody, minutes-wise, everybody's under 35 minutes a game, just about 30 minutes a game. But Jaylen Brown's averaging 13 points a game, and you're getting solid play from Jason Tatum too, at 13 points a game so far. But those guys have been able to. They've been playing. He's not asking the rookies to do too much. He's asking the rookies to play within themselves, and that allows you to have the freedom to be a little creative on offense and not put a lot of these guys in pressure. Not to mention defensively speaking, they're doing a very good job defending the ball.
They drafted really, really, really well. I mean, they started,
but they also fleeced teams for being idiots. So who's fault them for that?
That's the front office right there. Danny Ainge is the real deal. I mean, that's why I love Boston. They're going to be great with or without Hayward. You know what I mean? Like, I like him going there, but I also want to see what them top draft picks could do, and that's why it wasn't that bad that he got injured, because now they can show what they really got. And because there is like a great player going to a bad situation and it's stunting their development. You know what I mean? I felt like Trey Burke would have been great if he went anywhere besides Utah. I felt like Utah destroyed his development, and
then he went to the Wizards and he's playing behind John Wall. It's like you're not going to get any playing time. In that situation.
I also think that he wasn't that good in the first place, but whatever, he came out a year early. Anyways, all right, we move on to number 5, Andre Drummond, who's just becoming also an assist master, who had 7 assists last night. And okay, so Mike being yet cynical about yet another topic on the NBA.
If it's not the Lakers,
but you got to take it back, because I was actually positive on the Celtics.
How about you let him finish the question, huh?
I just made a noise. He didn't have to interrupt my noise.
You also were talking to at the same time. Andre Friedland's percentage has been jumped, and seemingly he's on league average. Pistons, how much has that helped the Pistons second half of the game? They seem like they have. We noticed last year they were not finishing games. That seems like it has been the theme where the Pistons have been better. Have you noticed that the Pistons have been a better second half team recently in games.
Definitely. I mean, you look at it, it comes down, if you know basketball, you know that free throw shooting is huge. The Pistons were a playoff contender, even with Drummond severely struggling from the line last year. Well, maybe not so last year, but the year before. Now that Drummond has turned himself into an adequate free throw shooter, it has made the Pistons an even scarier team to begin the year. It's all in Drummond's head. The virtual reality BS that didn't even that was garbage to me. It's all about putting in the work in the gym, working on your game, work on your free throws, and you're going to see results. And I don't care what anybody says about Drummond, trade Drummond, this and that. I think it's all garbage because the guy's a walking double-double.
Look,
every night.
I'm a stats guy. I can't lie. So something that I don't even think it's only his free throw shooting really is what's helping Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond this season has finally decided to start playing some defense, and he's been playing defense well this year. He's finally turning into the guy that we thought he could be when the Pistons drafted him. And there's this metric called defensive points saved, which relates, how well a player is playing on defense. And right now, the person at the top of that list is Andre Drummond. And the top two, him and DeMarcus Cousins, the next person below them, they're far below with this metric. So that being said, not only is his free throw shooting helping him stay on the court, because he's on the court, he's able to play his defense, and that's throwing teams out of whack. This is not the same Pistons team that was playing against teams last year. And not only is Andre Drummond helping with that, Reggie Jackson's back to his 2015 self in that he is a great player in the fourth quarter. Last night, it was against the Hawks, who I think arguably are the worst team in the Eastern Conference, maybe even the worst team in basketball. He hit, they were only up by 2. He hit a three-pointer with 21 seconds left to ice the game. It was over. And last year, Reggie couldn't hit a single big shot to save his life. So I think that those two things together have turned this Pistons team around. It's early, but...
Ben?
Well, I actually think that the deviated septum he had, the surgery he had, is... I when I first heard that, thought was crap, for lack of a better word. And the more you see Drummond play, the fresher he looks, the more effort he gives. I think that surgery is honestly what's turned him around, in all honesty. I mean, he looks like a different player than last year. Obviously thinner. He dropped 30 pounds. He's able to have that energy. Granted, yes, it's only 10, 11 games into a season, but you can see a difference. You can see a difference in how he plays, and he should be a walking double-double. And the fact that he now has a 65% free throw percentage so far this season shows that you can't really hack him in the last 2-3 minutes of a game in hopes to stealing possessions and getting back into a game, because teams have tried that and it's not working. So as long as he splits the pair at the stripe, that's all that matters. So I'm buying into what Andre Drummond's selling for the first time in his professional career. Still a little immature, but he's only like 24. So
I agree with Ben. I think that surgery did do wonders for him, because I had the surgery last year, and I'm a completely different person from the person who I was last year. So,
I completely agree.
So I know that surgery.
That sounds gonna.
I'm not even sweating it slightly.
Stenciling you up a little bit.
Don't even care. It means absolutely nothing. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. The Pistons suck, and I don't care what the first 12 games of the season are. And it's.
I'm sorry, Mike. It should be. I'm just going to say this. It should be, and I'll let you finish. It should be illegal for you to say the Pistons suck right now. It should be illegal.
Why? Because they're number 2.
Well, all they do is improve.
I'm sorry. You are what your record is, right?
You
are what your record is.
They dwell under Stan Van. As much as you guys don't like Stan Van, he's.
Somewhat the Lions started 3-0, and then they lost the next 3, right?
We're talking about basketball, and the Lions are still.
Wait a minute.
You just said.
Wait. Hold on. The only person in this room that doesn't like Stan Van Gundy since day one has been this gentleman right here. Everybody else has been kind of like.
By the way, for people who can't see, he's talking about Ben Solaki.
Yeah, I was going to say Ben Solaki. Okay, this gentleman right here, to my immediate right, Ben Solaki, has been on record since day one, since we started the Roadshow almost 2 years ago now, that has said, I do not like at all. He's been consistent about it. Everybody else has been wishy-washy. Bianca has been kind of about it. I have stood up for Stan Van Gundy. Ben is like...
You have.
I have been consistent about it. His hatred's been true. So let's just take that for the record.
Because he talks out of both sides of his
I've never said
goddamn
anything about hating Stan Van Gundy.
It's
I
hard
love
to
the
defend
dude.
him sometimes. It is hard to defend
He's
him.
stubborn.
I don't
Yes,
care.
he is.
I don't care what the record shows right now because if you
because they're not the Cleveland Cavaliers. So
I mean, if you think that the Magic is going to finish the season third and the Cavs are going to finish missing the playoffs,
nobody's saying that. We're talking
Stan Van has them going in the right direction. That's the whole point.
Making the playoffs.
That's why this matters.
Finally, not being the 11th, 10th seed. I hope that's the right direction. I hope moving up from 10 is the right direction.
Okay, they made the playoffs 2 years ago when they shouldn't have. What's your point?
And they got swept.
Okay,
they had their bags packed the second game of the series.
They didn't belong there.
Okay,
just
like
when the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, we can be the Red Wings. We can be the Red Wings. Make the
We're
playoffs
talking about
every
NBA
year.
basketball.
We can make the
We can
make the playoffs every single year and then get swept. It means nothing.
I can
Pink
tell you
stinks.
right now that hockey and basketball they're not related. We're talking about basketball right now.
You're not going to say that this team's at least improving, though? Like, you're just going to say they suck?
They don't suck.
They don't have John
That's
Kuester.
factually not true.
The Lawrence Frank era is over. The John Kuester era is over. We got Stan Van Gundy, who's taken the Magic, who you just brought up, to the finals. Yes, they had Dwight, but it's still Stan Van. The Pistons used to suck, man. Stan Van came
I'm going to let you guys have your time. I'll let you guys say everything you want. It means absolutely nothing.
All I know is, all I know is that basically you're going to be hearing that sound on your skin.
Can I ask what is the tattoo that he's supposed to get if it happens?
Oh, you weren't here 2 weeks ago.
Write up some,
while you weren't here,
paperwork for this.
We made a bet.
Yes.
They said that the Pistons were going to finish 4th or above at the end of the season. I said that's total BS, and I will get a Detroit Pistons tattoo if they finish 4th or higher.
Okay. Now, what do the other three have to get if
nothing?
Nothing.
That's a shit bet. Excuse my mouth. Excuse
my
mouth. But you guys accepted it.
I'm willing to.
I know, but I'm not saying you guys have to renege it or change the bet because it's already set. I'm just saying you guys got off easy.
Oh, I knew it when it was happening. When he agreed,
Mike and I were like, yeah, thumbs up.
I mean, that's the whole point of a bet. As an example, Roger at some point has to buy me a nice multi-meat dinner at Texas Day Brazil.
We're gonna plan for that in December. So,
well, I'm just
details to come.
No, whenever that happens, it happens when I choose.
But we're gonna do it. We're gonna.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because Roger the whole point of that was Roger wanted to bet a case of beer. I'm like, no. If we're gonna bet, we're going to bet strong and hard. And so the winner had to pay for dinner at a very nice restaurant. Granted, I'll still buy my drinks, but I'm surprised. I'm not even ashamed at Mike of saying like I'll take that bet, whatever. You guys piling up. I am ashamed at you three for just being like, hey, we don't have to do anything.
You know what? Hey, you know what? My conscience is clear.
I feel pretty good about it.
I feel really good about it. I think Brian does too. I think Brian.
That's the reason why I'm not going to care because when they miss the playoffs, the salty look on their face, it's gonna be like I can savor that. Or you guys buy me a beer.
Even if they make the playoffs at like a 6 seed or 7, I would want something like in return. I'm shocked you agreed to that without any repercussions.
Because the Pistons suck that bad, I'm not even worried about it.
All right, so coming up, go ahead.
Let me just add this. Is it because the Pistons beat the Lakers in 2004? Is this why you're bashing the Pistons?
How many shifts they got? How many you got?
I'm just asking.
It means absolutely
I'm
nothing.
Asking why you
did
hate the Pistons.
Did they win the year before and after that?
No, that wasn't the question. My question is, what made you hate the Pistons so hard? Is it because they beat the Lakers in 2004?
I mean, I'm just not going to continue to be
because the Showtime Lakers have beat the Pistons.
I'm talking
before,
about.
That's why you're fine.
I'm talking about who beat the Lakers. What they did after
you're
that
talking
doesn't
about
matter.
1 year. I care about 1 year. That means absolutely nothing. No, I'm just not going to continue to be with a girlfriend who treats me bad, and I have high hopes for my relationship, and then.
When's Mike going to actually start talking about basketball? He just keeps comparing it to hockey.
But I was comparing the record. You said the record. The record is what you are. Okay,
right.
The Lions started 3-0. Okay, that's a great team, and they lost the next three. So it doesn't matter what the record is. That's why I brought up that analogy.
But it does. They're 500 in competition to win their division.
All right, hey, but they lost the next three after
All
that 3-0.
right, so coming up after the break, Al Davis comes back from the grave to sue the NFL. Next. All right, back here on the SRD Roadshow here on CRBRadio.com and SportsRadioDetroit.com on demand.
It's hot in this room right now.
It is hot in this room.
Because there's been a lot of yelling. It's like family counseling. I didn't like you for what you did 6 years ago at Thanksgiving. Yeah, well, I think you suck. That's what that last segment was.
Your elbows stink.
Yeah, well, I don't like your mother. She's your aunt. You're supposed to. Screw you.
So
your Christmas gifts suck.
So currently, right now, what's going on in the NFL is it's been a little bit of a. The reason why I said Al Davis is because right now you're looking at Jerry Jones channeling. I really believe. Here's my theory. Okay, I think Al Davis became a Sith Lord and took over Jerry Jones's body and is finding a way to sue the NFL. So.
Strike me down with your lightsaber.
Jerry Jones.
Please, Jerry Jones. And then your turn to the dark side will be complete.
So, it is. What Jerry Jones is saying to. Essentially, is suing the NFL because there's a myriad of reasons to. And it's. Well, it's interesting. A lot of chapters to this. Apparently, he didn't like the way he's handled the suspension for Ezekiel Elliott. There's a lot of factors that think that Jerry Jones is doing this because it's the last time he thinks that Dallas could win the Super Bowl as him being, coherent or alive, or before he's wearing diapers.
He's coherent.
Or they're wearing diapers or whatever. I don't think he's coherent at all. But I really believe that this is an Al Davis move. He's becoming Al Davis. I'm really.
I will show you right here on this projector. Why Roger Goodell is very bad at his job.
Yeah.
Slide 1. Ezekiel Elliott.
And Jerry Jones has said, "Hey, I'm the de facto owner. I'm the lead owner," which is like, well, see the Mara family, the Ford family, the Rooney family, who all been here longer than you have, my friend. Who has only been here since '89.
While true, like all of those people you mentioned probably have a deal with Jerry Jones for concessions.
Yes.
And Jerry Jones just makes
Papa
money.
John's.
Oh, Papa
yeah.
John's.
So he was furious over the owners. I guess Goodell is furious over undermining his contract negotiations by threatening to sue the NFL and league fellow owners and stop from re-upping with it. So that's what's going on. Jones accused the league of misleading owners of Goodell's contract negotiations. The letter was sent to the NFL Council and distributed to owners and team execs yesterday. The portion is now made public. On Thursday, and made public after it was obtained by ESPN. Jones maintains he was ready to sue, claiming he has discovered a number of very concerning issues about the negotiations and has been questionably misled by the League Compensation Committee chairman and Falcons owner Arthur Blank. It's getting ugly,
but
it's stupid. He wouldn't. He's only mad because he's trying to suspend his running back right now. Last year. He didn't speak up one time when they went through all that 2 years for trying to suspend Tom Brady. I mean, he's doing a TO. That's my quarterback. Like, he's just trying to stick up for his player. If no person on his team was supposed to be suspended and can hurt their playoff run, he wouldn't be saying anything. Yes, he's probably complaining about the money Goodell's going to be making. Yes, every team should be arguing that because he shouldn't.
$200 million.
He's making like $35 a year or something stupid like that.
That's his salary is $40 million a year, and then he gets like incentives.
He shouldn't be. I don't think he should be making that much, and that's what he should be
No
arguing.
should.
Yeah, okay, yes, he should. Was pay this turd less. You know what I mean? But I don't think he would be saying any of this if his star running back wasn't going to be suspended.
But here,
go ahead.
I was going to say, here's the thing that irritates me about this whole Jerry Jones thing, right? Is Mike hit it right on the head. He's only upset that Ezekiel Elliott can't play a full season because that's jersey sales, that's people going to the game, and that's it. When like he's trying to find grounds to sue Roger Goodell, which he has no leg to stand on. I mean, he really doesn't. He's trying to pull in things that Jerry Jones himself forced on the owners' throats. Stuff like expansion to L.A. and expansion into Vegas. You know who was helping spearhead the other owners to agree to that? Jerry Jones. So you can't really say that you can loop that in with suing Roger Goodell. You're suing Roger Goodell because your running back is not playing consistently week in and week out for something that he did not only in college, but did during a St. Patrick's Day parade, which, yes, the league is sensitive to now, and everyone should be from the beginning, but that's a different story, in, sexual misconduct. I mean, look at what's happening in Hollywood. And the fact that you're pulling out of nowhere because you own 150 Papa John's, you pull a jerk that owns Papa John's who is a total frat guy and gets wasted at every major sporting event and lets fans take pictures of him.
Who, Papa John?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, really?
Yes. And
his daughter's hot.
Well, who cares?
Really?
But, like, here's the thing. As Roger Googles that. But
I'm curious minds wants to know.
But in all seriousness, then out of nowhere, Papa John's is like, yeah, our pizza sales are tanking. And then Pizza Hut's like, dude, you're a liar. None of our sales are tanking.
By the way, Pizza Hut did a fantastic job during those when the stories for Papa John's struggling. They were putting their ads strategically underneath those.
Yeah.
Well,
Jerry Jones just needs to suck it up. Because here's another thing Jerry Jones has done. And he didn't fight this hard for it. He signed goddamn Greg Hardy. A guy who choked and beat up his girlfriend and threw her down on a bed that was covered in assault rifles and pistols.
He just won his latest MMA fight, too, by the way. Not that anybody cares.
Like, for like the 10 people that attended? Sweet.
Yeah, it was like a high school gym.
But that's the hypocrisy in all of this, is that you freely signed a guy that the Panthers cut after all of this came out and said, well, I'm going to sign Greg Hardy. And then all of a sudden, Zeke Elliott gets into trouble and you're like, oh my God, no. I'm going to just go kicking and screaming like you told a 5-year-old, hey, it's 8 o'clock, you got to go to bed. Really? It's BS.
It's a waste.
It is BS, and it's a waste of everyone's time. And here's another thing, because as Mike said, and it's true, when Tom Brady was going through Deflategate, whether you believe in noble gas law or not, and you think, and if you think Tom Brady purposely deflated footballs or not, he praised Roger Goodell for handling that. Robert Kraft had to forfeit $1 million in a backdoor deal in hopes Tom Brady wouldn't get suspended. How much money has Jerry Jones surrendered in a backdoor deal? Zero. Jerry Jones has no leg to stand on, and he's being a little baby about
Somebody
it.
stole his bike. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to.
It's stupid.
Roger Goodell stole his bike for the next 6 games, and he's mad about it. That's all it comes down to.
It's so infuriating.
You know what's interesting, though, is that Goodell's new contract, which is this new structure, is based 88% based off the league's metrics, which is, I mean, I would be kind of pissed if I was him. If I'm like, here I am. My name is Roger. Ironically enough, I'm like, look how much I made you guys. And this is the thanks again because of the protests. Which, by the way, I read a political article about Trump, and it has something to do with this. And one of the people who were still vote for Trump, regardless of him breaking all the promises, he was talking about. He's like, well, he speaks his mind. At least he says, damn, and he stopped himself. And then the person in the interview said, or the wife goes, go on, say what you said. He said, stupid N-words. He was talking about the players protesting about money. So that ties into this in the sense that I guess people are that upset that people are kneeling during the national
But
anthem.
here's the thing. People that are that upset don't care enough about the why these players are, quote-unquote, protesting.
Right.
That's the thing. You can be mad, and I don't even know why you're mad, because even the players said we don't disrespect the military or the flag.
And that's why Cap started to kneel, because he had that meeting with that Green Beret. He's like, why don't you kneel instead of sitting? It's more it's more respect. It's more respectful, and they've been doing that ever since. So somebody did something disrespectful, had a conversation with the top person.
Well, but yeah, you're right, because Kaepernick was sitting on a bench like Marshawn Lynch every week sits on the bench for the national anthem. And then yes, you're right, he did. He talked with the player, the long snapper. I don't think he's in the league anymore, but was a former, Army vet. And he said, "Yeah, dude, if you want to still do a protest,
just kneel.
Just kneel."
And that's showing respect. But nobody's even looking at that. Like, you just don't have anything else to do with your life if you're that. I love football, but I can't watch it today because for 30 seconds somebody's going to kneel. I can't watch this 3-hour game because in the first 30 seconds. Shut up. Build a puzzle. Cut the grass or something. Stop being angry over.
Or go talk.
You know what I mean?
Or go talk to your kids.
See, this is why I don't get angry about things. Like, if I died tomorrow, would it be worth me being mad today? No. If no, then don't be mad about it. Stupid.
All right, let's get things to talk about getting mad about. Let's look at the overall standings for the picks as we do the NFL picks before we get in the last half hour of college football. So, Mike, what is the overall standings of the college picks? Or the NFL picks? I know that we all had good weeks last week, except for Brian.
I was okay last. I wasn't, normal.
Is Papchek back in this? I know Papchek's back in it, right?
I never wasn't. I've been in second this whole time.
Papchek was winning to start the year.
I was going to say.
And I caught up to
everybody's
him.
Everybody's giving Brian credit every week. We've been doing well.
Mike, you haven't said much. You've been like, I've been in this whole thing. And then Ben's been quietly kind of going back.
And I haven't been here for 2 weeks to give my picks. So I'm giving you guys an advantage, and I'm still in the running.
Look at this humble brag.
Look at this
humble brag.
It's very close to say the least. Actually, it's like ridiculously close. Besides Bianca.
Bianca just stop trying.
Yeah, Bianca.
Sorry, Bianca.
I'm sorry at all. Who trying to cheat looking at this?
I'm not trying to cheat. I'm trying to see the overalls.
Oh, so so here's the thing. If you don't send in your picks, you get the average of now. Here's how I do it. Now, everything that we all voted yes on, you're going to get a point for that. You know what I mean? But if it's like an even split, you're not going to get a point for that. And then you're going to get minus a point for not sending in your picks as a penalty for being a turd.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Here we go.
So
I like that, though. You're fair.
So, Mike, how are we looking?
So, Brian has 76.
76 what?
Overall.
Overall.
76 and what?
I haven't been counting losses. That's
right. 76. Okay, 76. Okay.
So then Ben is in second place with 73.
Ha!
Wait, what? Me and Ben were the same last week.
Time out. What did you say, Roger?
Did
you say that's BS?
That's totally
That's
BS.
right, because that's Ben Salagi working the game. That is Ben Salagi working the game,
Thursday
son.
night game, right? You got it wrong.
I didn't pick the Thursday night game.
You should did. You picked Jets. We're not doing Seattle. We're
Jets won.
Seattle's for this week.
Yeah. So he's one up. So Ben's got 73. You got 72. Rogers got 71, and I got 69. Bianca has 61.
Nice.
Oh, Bianca
still got that young lead.
It's super close though.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And I've been making some bad choices trying to make up ground.
Suddenly just jamming over here,
Ben's
right?
hype.
Yeah,
We got half the season to go, man. That's all I'm saying.
And I will be here to give my picks for the rest of the time. I gave you my 2 bye weeks. It is on to the Super Bowl with the Patriots.
All right, here we go. We start in Tampa Bay. Jets travel, and looks like just James Winston is
eating a loss.
Eating a loss.
I'm eating a loss. I'm eating a loss. I'm eating a loss.
All right.
That was so uncomfortable to watch.
So
I watched it the first time, and then I've seen it a couple times, and it was like so uncomfortable.
It was like
all of his teammates are looking at him like
it made
what?
me weird. That's why at the very end, somebody else cut him off, and it's like, "Are you guys ready?" Blah.
I have a quick question for you. It's a personal question. You don't have to answer. Do you eat like your lady's toes in the same fashion? Because I know you're a feet guy. Like, do you lick her toes like the same way Jameis Winston tried to eat a W?
Oh, not that. No.
Not that aggressive or crazy.
Oh, he put a whole finger in there.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W.
How many people want to eat a W tonight?
And they're like, yeah.
Hey, don't slap my hand with you lick your fingers.
Ugh. That was gross. All right.
Oh my
Jets
God.
travel to Tampa Bay, Brian.
This is tough. I got to go Jets here. Tampa Bay's been struggling, and the Jets have showed me at least a little something this year. I'm going to go Jets on the road.
Me too. I'm picking the Jets. Tampa Bay has been awful. Straight awful.
Mike?
Jets.
Jets?
I'm picking the Jets because Jameis Winston, who wants to eat a W, is sitting on the bench.
I'm gonna go with
out.
I'm gonna go with JET.
And Mike Evans is out too.
Oh, Evans is out for suspension, right? Yep.
So we're going Jets, Jets.
All Jets across the
And
board.
if you got a fantasy team, pick up the defense and start them.
Ha!
There we go. So we'll go with the Jets.
Next
up, New Orleans travels to Buffalo to take on the Bills, and this is kind of a trap game. We go to Ben.
The Bills are 4-0 at home, and they will continue 5-0 at home. Bills!
Mike.
Go to me last.
All right.
I mean, I need to gain some ground on Ben here, but he's right. Buffalo's going to win. I think New Orleans is overrated.
Brian.
I'm going New Orleans. I think they're going to steal one on the road. So I'm going to go Saints.
I think you're wrong, Brian. I think I'm going to go with Buffalo. And Mike, we probe.
I'm going to go with New Orleans, too, because after their 0-2 start, they've had a crazy turnaround, and they minus the carries for Adrian Peterson, gave it to Kamara, who's straight killing it.
Kamara's awesome.
So I'm going New Orleans.
You just like pralines. That's why.
I do.
And gumbo.
I love
gumbo.
gumbo.
Not to mention, though, the Saints never played good in cold weather, though. I mean, it's really cold in Buffalo right now.
Yeah, it is. I want snow on Sunday.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be. It's heating up though. It's gonna be warm on Sunday.
35 degrees. Yeah.
It's better than 18.
That is true. I was gonna say today for Northwestern Purdue, because I'm probably like the only guy in America watching that game. It's 4 degrees at Ryan Field.
Sheesh.
Get excited.
With the lake effect.
You get a cold. You get a cold. You get a cold.
And you get hypothermia. That's right.
All right, so Cincinnati travels to Tennessee. They're not. They're in Nashville, right?
They are in Nashville. Nissan Stadium.
Nissan Stadium to take on the Titans. This is a tough game to predict.
It is.
And that's why I'm going to go with Mike Probe first, because I know you like tough games. Go ahead. Take that L.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
Ooh.
I still don't believe in Tennessee all the way until they start giving Derrick Henry the ball.
Okay. Ben?
Titans.
I'm going Tennessee at home.
Tennessee?
Man, I thought Marcus Mariota would be better, so maybe he'll be better this game. I'll go with Tennessee.
Every time I pick the Titans have lost, by the way. I'm just throwing that out. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. I'm gonna go Cincinnati on the road, and they'll get it done.
I try to ride the Titans train, and they fail me every time and throw me off the tracks.
AJ
Sucks.
Green did absolutely nothing last week, and it cost his team probably the game. So I think he's gonna have a big game.
Cost my fantasy team the game.
I won, but it's almost.
He played like crap, so I mean.
And one of the most overrated rivalries, and I understand they've been playing for 100. It seems like 100 years. Blah blah blah. Green Bay travels to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears. Ben.
Oh God, which quarterback do you want, Brett Hundley or Mitchell Trubisky? I'll go with the Polish rifle, Mitchell, and the Bears.
Bears.
Not Bears.
How am I going to gain any ground? Like, I've already looked at all these picks, and he's just over and over again, Ben. Same pick, man.
I'm going with Chicago.
He's in your. You know what he's doing right now, Mike? Ben is taking a couch, putting it out there. He's laying it out there. He's getting a 60-inch TV, and he's serving popcorn and looking at your head going, I'm in here, Mike, and I'm not going anywhere. I got cold cuts right now coming. I got cold cuts, and guess what? When Ben has cold cuts, he ain't going nowhere.
No, I just fired up the barbecue. Hey, you want some chicken? Screw you, Ben.
Yeah.
What about a steak? I hate you. It smells delicious.
I was going to say, it smells
Get
good,
out
though.
of here.
Yeah.
I'm going Chicago.
Going Chicago? Brian.
Green Bay sucks without Aaron Rodgers. Give me Chicago at home.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago. I mean, they almost beat Atlanta at home. I mean,
are we all in this?
Sorry,
It's a good home
Papchak.
team.
There's no way I can.
I think we're all in Chicago.
There's no
I think we're
way.
all in Chicago. I can't. I'm sorry, Brett Hundley sucks, so I can't do it. terrible.
Hey, like I said, the only thing he's good for is confusing the linebacker because he's cockeyed. He'll know who's throwing that.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. That is awesome.
All right. Pittsburgh travels to Indianapolis to take on the Colts, and I think everybody will go and say everybody at the same time. Ready?
Who's playing? Who is it?
The Steelers and Colts. Everybody. Steelers. All right. So no one's not yet. The 4:00 games go as this follows. Houston traveling to the Rams. Now, a couple weeks ago, Deshaun Watson was in this game.
Are we doing Rams, everybody?
I think we're doing Rams.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Rams?
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson was playing this game.
I would pick Texans all day.
Man, that'd be a fun NFL game. What do you
Yeah.
think? 45-42 would that game be?
Yeah, but now we're gonna get savage. The Rams are gonna savage Tom Savage.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. The Giants travel to the 49ers in the most boringest game probably on Sunday coming up.
Pillow fight.
It's gonna be Ben, 49ers or Giants?
Jesus Christ. Do I have to pick one?
Yeah, so you have to pick a dull knife or a rusty knife.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, like this music.
I don't know why I'm doing this. Giants.
Giants? Okay.
Just because they actually have a win. They're 1-7.
That's pretty much it is for me.
Where are they playing at?
And San Francisco.
At San Francisco.
Man.
And
see, I told you, it's like
I was going to say, if Garoppolo was playing, I would say the 49ers, but they have no interest in playing.
Who's starting for San Francisco anyways?
CJ Beathard, the kid out of Iowa, who chased Jake Rudock out of town.
Yep.
Who you going
The
with?
name
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Roger's like, huh?
Was he in Green Bay at some point?
No, this is rookie year.
This is his rookie year.
Wait, that was the guy we saw in Michigan. We played
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bouquet. All right.
He's better than Brian Hoyer.
When Roger flips to Spanish, you know he's really like confused and upset about something.
Wow. Okay. So, I'm sorry, we lost track. So Ben, you picked Giants.
Only because they've won a game.
Mike,
Man, it's a tough game. Because if the Giants lose, the coach needs to be fired.
Yeah, he can't go back to San Francisco. They'll leave him.
They'll leave him at the tarmac.
Like that was that Tony Bennett song about Heart in San Francisco. Bob McAdoo, like I left my job in San Francisco.
So I'm gonna have to go Giants. I don't want to.
Go Giants.
Is Jim Harbaugh still in San Francisco? No. The 49ers suck? Okay, I'm going Giants.
So we're doing all 49ers.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Giants.
I was gonna say, at least I'm not losing ground on that one, so I feel better about it.
Yeah, that was a game that
I want to pick the upset, but I don't
want to pick the upset too. But then it's like you have CJ, you have the Iowa quarterback starting. It's like, good luck, kid.
This is going to be an exciting race. We're going to be keeping an eye on San Francisco all year with the Browns.
We're
going
like
0-16.
degenerates, yeah.
All right.
We're degenerates.
We are.
We really are.
All right, now this is a game that this is going to be a tough call here. Dallas travels to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. No Ezekiel Elliott, but Dak Prescott has been playing better. The Falcons are Matt Ryan's having a Matt Ryan-like season, which means that he is just a average quarterback.
Mediocre-ish.
He's coming back down to earth. Yeah, mediocre is a good word for it.
I'm going Atlanta. No Zeke. Sorry, I can't pick Dallas on the road. I got to go Falcons.
You got to give Matt Ryan a little more credit. I watched Julio Jones literally drop a perfect touchdown
Yep,
pass.
I did too.
And he was human. He showed he's human. Matt Ryan's like usually. I guarantee you, Matt Ryan's like it's okay.
Yeah, probably. But man, that was weird to see Julio drop it. I'm going with Atlanta.
He shouldn't have been out there on the field anyways. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
He's hurt. He shouldn't have been on the field to begin
Agreed.
with.
Good point, Mike.
But
I picked Atlanta. Same. I can't pick Dallas without Zeke right now.
I'm picking Dallas, and I'm almost positive that DRC is going to have a great game.
Right.
That's fair. I got one question. Did the entire Dallas Cowboys offensive line also get suspended? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, that's right. That's why Dallas is going to win. Doesn't matter who the running back is. They still have Dak Prescott throwing the ball.
And that's why DRC has not been active a single game. Now, if they were going to have him as a role player, he would have been active. You know what I mean? But they don't want to risk him getting injured. They want to save his legs. They've been saving him for this purpose. And I guarantee he had 1,000 yards rushing before they drafted Elliott. You know what I mean? So, and he missed a few games. So they're not going to skip a beat. Dallas.
I'm gonna go with Dallas too as well. I'm gonna go with Dallas.
We should have saved our why before Roger picked. You were probably picking the Falcons before.
No, I was actually gonna pick Dallas because I think the Falcons are choke artists. and they proved it last year. But also, I think Atlanta, offensively speaking, has looked different since Kyle Shanahan's left.
This is true.
They offensively speaking, they don't look as explosive. So.
Sarkisian, not a good offensive coordinator.
No, not at all. He's
not drinking.
I was gonna say that. I don't want to be a dick, but you said it, so good. Somebody else was saying what I was gonna say.
If somebody gives him a shot, he might pick a good play from time to time.
Put the Gatorade bottle, put something clear in it.
Oh my God, you guys!
Not saying that.
For the record, we're not making fun of alcoholism.
I was
It's not a
about
joke,
to say
okay? So just
You guys are
disclaimer.
awful.
Okay, the 8:30 game. The Patriots taking on the Broncos. Everybody.
Patriots.
All right, here we go. Because
Did we do Chargers Jaguars?
No.
Oh, I overskipped that. Sorry about that. Yeah. Wow.
And Vikings Redskins?
Totally fine. I skipped that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, how are we on Monday night when there's two?
All right.
We're missing a couple.
All right, here we go. Let's go back. Okay, maybe. All right, Chargers and Jags. Maybe I'll save those for last. I don't know. Chargers and Jags.
Oh
Ben.
man. Shoot. Is Leonard Fournette healthy?
Yep.
He was suspended last week. He missed the team
missing
photo.
a photo.
Well, that's Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin's like.
Hey, but they didn't need him though.
I was gonna say, see, I think he only did it because he knew he figured they'd win anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, I'll still pick the Jaguars. So I'm only picking them because I still have feelings for Mark Brunell. So
I feel like that's a trap game too. Like the Chargers
right?
are a great team. They shouldn't have the record that they do.
Best 3-5 team in the nation.
But then you got Saxonville just straight killing it right now. So I'm going Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think
Blake Bortles.
I think Phillip Rivers is going to get lit up by that line. That front seven of the Jags is so good. I'm going with the Jags.
I can't go against the Jags at home, especially against the Chargers. Give me Jacksonville.
And you guys all weren't on Jacksonville train.
No,
I started picking the Jags the first 3 weeks.
I liked the Jags. It's just
while
they
you
won a couple
say
games they
that,
shouldn't.
doesn't other Mike have a Jacksonville jersey?
Yeah, I have a Jacksonville jersey, dude. I have been a Jacksonville fan for no real reason, but when they drafted Blaine Gabbert, I was like, I guess I'm a Jaguar fan now. And, he sucked, and I'm still sort of a fan.
Where is Blaine Gabbert now?
He is the inactive third quarterback
I thought he's
in
active
Arizona.
now. I thought he's active now because Palmer got injured for the year.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, he was active. It was crazy. He did the Tooth Fairy thing.
But I love that they're
night.
doing that, though, because they have a QB challenge at the end of every single week, and the loser has to wear a random costume of the person who wins the competition. So, and all three quarterbacks have had Carson Palmer had to wear one twice. You know what I mean? So
it's scary to
they
think
just don't.
about.
They just don't show it because it's more funny when Blaine Gabbert wears something. But Drew Stanton was wearing.
I think we're spending way too much time in Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. Continue. So who are we picking here?
We all
I
picked
think we're waiting on you.
You,
Roger.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, don't blame this on me because I was just calling you out. Jacksonville. All right, Jacksonville it is.
All right, so
faster
everyone,
next time.
All right, Minnesota goes to Washington on the Redskins. This is a tough game to predict. That's why I'm going to go with Mike Probe first.
I'm going with Redskins just because we need the Vikings to lose.
That's fair.
Ben.
God, this is almost as bad as the Giants 49ers game. Except both these teams are kind of respectable. Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Brian?
Maybe if Minnesota was at home, I'd pick them, but I just got to go. I guess I'm going with Kirk Cousins and the Redskins.
You like that?
I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings for the exact opposite reason. Case Keenum, you guys can deny it all you want. He's 6-1 as a starter, 5-1 as a starter, 5-2, whatever. I mean, he's not a fantastic quarterback, but
You're Case Keenum.
I'm taking Case Keenum in Minnesota.
I'm Casey Keenum with your top 20.
Top 20 quarterbacks of all time. I'm Case Keenum. Dear Mike, I'm going to get you a Case Keenum jersey for
Here's a
Christmas.
request from Jay Gruden in Washington saying, I want to play Hail to the Redskins.
Roger?
You know what?
I don't know him.
Honestly, this is a tough game to call, but I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna break rank. I'm gonna go Minnesota. I think Minnesota's gonna pull this off.
Am I the only one who picked Washington? This
No.
could be a deciding game in the standings.
No,
I picked him first.
Ben, who'd you pick?
No,
Ben
only me and Brian picked Washington.
You guys are racist. All right, so
Sorry.
Monday night game, Dolphins and the Panthers.
Oh dear God,
Carolina all.
Carolina
at home. Carolina all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina
going
all.
Going twice. Sold.
I love how we're all like that confident with it. Though. Carolina all, everyone. Yeah.
I mean, it's Jay Cutler.
Well, you know what that was like?
is
It's
it
like,
Monroe?
hey, I'm hungry. Where do you guys want to eat? I don't know. So, like, Buffalo Wild Wings? Yeah, fine.
If it was any other quarterback besides Jay Cutler, I would consider what the matchup is.
Is it Matt Moore? Is Matt Moore still starting?
No, it's Jay Cutler.
Okay. All right.
Cutler's back.
Okay, so now we
They
have.
don't have Ajay, though. They traded that guy.
We talked about this game earlier. Lions and Browns. Gentlemen, are we all going? Is this going to be easier than what we say it is?
I'm going Browns.
I think so.
Ooh.
I'm just playing.
I was going to say, that'd be funny. No,
I go Lions.
I picked the Leos.
Because if they lose, then, I mean, we don't talk about them the rest of the season, right?
Lions are
For sure.
dead to me if they lose to the Browns.
Ooh.
And Caldwell should
Hey,
get
is that
fired.
stupid, like, Lake Erie trophy up for grabs in this game that the
Is
Browns
that-
and Lions always play for in the preseason?
That's a good question.
Or is that a preseason only thing?
I wonder if that trophy fell if it's shattered because it seems like a cheaply made trophy, anyways.
I don't know.
It's one of those trophies you get, a participation trophy in baseball, you know?
Yeah.
So,
nobody's names on it. It says you did a good job on it.
yeah, you did a good job.
Or participant of the 2017 season.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, but yeah, that's how.
So we all going Leos?
All
Yeah,
go Leos.
yeah.
Okay, so
Kenny Galladay should be playing.
Woo!
I forgot about him. Is it bad?
Taylor Decker should be playing,
Yeah.
too.
Well, they need to activate him first.
Oh, you're right. They got, what, till, like, 1 o'clock today or something like that?
Oh, hey, now since we brought
Yeah.
actually we didn't bring it up, but we kind of did. I actually had a dream about Cam Robinson last night. I had a dream that they said, like, you suck as an offensive lineman, so we're going to try you on defense. And he actually got a sack in the game.
You mean Greg Robinson?
Greg Robinson, Cam Robinson.
The guy that we cut on Thursday?
The guy that we waived?
Wait, Mike, you said you had a dream? You had a dream about a Lions player?
I did.
Tell me about it.
He sucks on the offensive line, so they said, hey, how about we try you on defense? And he did a pretty solid job, but they still cut him.
And then Mike looked at his feet, and it was chicken feet.
Oh.
And then he turned to his right and saw that Jim Caldwell was actually Kermit the Frog. And was like, what is this? Where am I? And he's like, I'm dreaming.
I love the Muppet Babies.
It's like, yay! All right, so a lot of good college football action going on today.
A lot.
Man, I gotta get rid of the street.
Too much!
Too much college football going on. That is a lot of games that mean a lot to different people. Michigan State going to Ohio State and Ohio State losing 2 defensive players. You want to give us an update about that, Ben? There's 2 linebackers going on for Ohio State, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know why. I haven't looked into it yet, but I do know Ohio State's going to be down a couple of players, and Mark D'Antonio still can go into the horseshoe and win football games. So
at the time,
he's a terrible leader, but he's a good football coach. There's a difference, gang.
Yeah, and sure there's.
But, I mean, we're going to talk about games that actually have playoff implication, right?
Yes. So
that is playoff implication.
I really don't think it matters. You need about 6 teams to lose in front of you. It's impossible.
And, like, all of them are playing each other
they
today.
Like Washington lost. You got TCU, Oklahoma.
Well, look.
Okay, let's get to
But
let's start off here.
Hang on. The big question, can Rutgers knock off Penn State? I'm kidding.
Hey, Rutgers has like 4 wins this year, man.
I know.
All right, let's talk about some of the early
Chris
games.
Ash has got this ship turned around.
Let's talk about some of the early games too. Even
The record shows are really good.
In the Big 12, game, which has some consequence.
You're going to get jumped to the parking lot. You realize that,
wait till
right?
after the show.
We're going to need like a security escort to get you into your car.
That may happen. That should happen. So, Oklahoma State travels to Ames to take on the Cyclones. Cyclones lost last week, but it looks like still the Cyclones are heading in the right direction. But this game, that has playoff implications, but for Big 12 implications. The game, early game, too, the 3:30 game that has some significance to it. Number 2, Georgia at number 10, Auburn. If Georgia can continue...
Number 1, Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. According to, depending on what poll you ask. Number 1, Georgia.
College football poll.
Yeah.
The only poll that matters.
Yeah.
The one that we talk about every Tuesday, and that doesn't matter until the final week, but whatever.
Yeah. So number 1, Georgia, playing number 10, Auburn. That's a big game. That's a 3:30 game. War Eagle. Number 20, for Big Ten fans who, this also has some sort of playoff indication. Number 25, Iowa, travels to Wisconsin, as Wisconsin actually has an opponent that they can actually talk about, and because the West is a joke. So,
but here's the funny thing with Wisconsin. You were mentioning Ohio State doesn't have players. Jazz Peavy and Quantas Cephas, their top 2 wide receivers, Cephas are out for the season.
Are they being facetious?
I'm not being facetious with Cephas, and I can say that without tying my tongue. So
impressive,
eat that.
Ben.
But that's why I think Iowa goes into Camp Randall and jumps around on their corpse.
For the Big Ten's sake, I mean, we really don't hope that happens. Like,
I think we do, though, because not only is chaos fun, but it will finally make everyone look at this is the thing I didn't like about the college football playoff only having 4 teams, is that it's still the BCS.
I mean, a little bit, but I guess
like it still has shades of the BCS. Like no one like really. That's why I love what even though I hate Notre Dame, that's why I love that Notre Dame's actually good, because I do hope they steal a spot from somebody.
Yeah.
And someone from like the Pac-12 and Big Ten don't get in, because both of those commissioners are going to be like, hey, we can't have this happen anymore. And then they're going to be like, oh yeah, okay, well let's expand it to 8 or 12. And they'll do it like overnight.
The reason I don't think that will happen is because the fact that people are so angry about it and talk about it months after the season is exactly what college football wants, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but imagine this. In all seriousness, you still have your conference title games, right, on December 3rd, or that weekend, right? The first weekend in December.
Yeah.
What about the following week? You have, hypothetically, I'll even say Michigan State, because whatever, I don't care. What if you have like a team like USC travels to East Lansing for a first-round playoff game? A game that would never happen otherwise.
Yeah.
Or, this would be really fun, even though it's not going to happen because Alabama's going to be the top seed anyways. But how fun would it be to see Alabama travel to like USC? Just actually finally leaving the South and actually playing a game somewhere of meaning outside of Dallas.
I'd like to see
that's
that.
why like it's still you still have like importance in the regular season if you go to 8. I think 12 would be too much, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
But like if you still have 8, you still have the drama of the regular season. Every game still matters. Your conference championship stuff still matters. But you actually would have to play playoff games at college campuses, which I think is a major win for everybody. Because at the beginning of the year, even though the committee says we value if you play like how Oklahoma plays Ohio State in homes and homes, even though they say they value that, now you can arguably drop one of those games and still see a team like that of that caliber later on in the year when it actually matters.
I don't think there's that many deserving teams to make it 8. I think they should do
Not this year.
They should do 6, and then the top 2 teams get like a bye week or something like that. But I don't. There's not 8 deserving teams. There's usually only 4 to 5. 6 max. Anybody else, you're just trying to add more games, add more TV ratings, stuff like that.
I think they should do it exactly like how D2 and FCS does it.
Straight tournament style?
Straight tournament style. You play everyone in your conference. That's your slate. That's your regular season. You have your conference champion. And then from there, you go straight into the tournament.
Yep. I hail from a D2 school. It was always fun paying attention to D2 playoffs. It was always interesting.
All right, so who's winning, who's losing this weekend?
So, okay, we'll continue on. There's a couple other matchups, too. Another one is number 8, TCU at number 5, Oklahoma.
That's the best.
That's about 8 o'clock one. No, I think the best one coming up here is the Catholics versus the Convicts.
That's going to be amazing.
Notre Dame at traveling to Miami. Yeah. So we're going to see how fraudulent or real Notre Dame is.
There's way too many good games this weekend.
So there's going to be quite a bit of action going on this weekend in terms of college football. But for Notre Dame and Miami, this is a chance for Miami to see how legit they are. Notre Dame has been here recent in the last 5 or 6 years. So this is a chance to see what Miami's all about. And for Mark Wright and his gang, this is a chance for Miami to get back on the national stage and really kind of take ownership in the ACC. So
Notre Dame sucks.
Yeah, Notre Dame suck.
So I'm going Miami in that game all day. But there's like too many good guys. Oklahoma game comes on at the same exact time. So, and then the Florida State Clemson, that's going to be a good game, even though Florida State's straight trash this year, but they still do have good players moving forward. That's still a risky game right there.
That Notre Dame Miami game, let's say Miami loses, I don't think that eliminates them from the playoff.
It does.
It doesn't.
How many losses would they have?
One.
Who have they played? Nobody.
But it doesn't matter.
There's too many other great teams.
It doesn't, because they still have to play Clemson in the ACC championship game.
TCU doesn't play anybody, do they?
If Miami loses, that's going to
TCU's playing Oklahoma today.
If Miami loses, that's going to put them outside the top 10.
It won't though, because you got Michigan State with 2 losses, who does not deserve to be up above Miami.
But Michigan State has beat.
Ohio State doesn't deserve to be
Michigan
up
State
there.
has beat the teams.
They've also lost twice.
If Miami loses, they're out of the playoff.
That's absolutely not true. So. That's factually not true.
I was going to say, no. I will say this. That's not true only because of the ACC championship game.
And also the Big 12, everyone has a loss now. Only one, it's possible that entire league would have 2 losses. The Pac-12, nobody is worthy of going. The simple fact that there are a lot of teams,
the Pac-12 and Big Ten are cannibalizing themselves.
They are. And it sucks because what's going to happen is the SEC is going to get 2 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, which is stupid.
But it's going to happen. I
know. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just
agree
saying
with
it's
you.
Stupid.
I'm sorry. I'm angry about it too. It's dumb. We're going to see Georgia play Alabama, and then you're going to see both the teams in the playoff anyway. It's just.
I would only laugh if after the SEC championship game, the following, for the first round of the college football playoff, they have to play each other again.
Oh my God, that would be
just to
awful.
Just to get them off. Just so we have one SEC team in the championship game.
Oh, yeah. I guess that actually makes sense.
Because if I see, Georgia beating Notre Dame again and, Alabama, beating whoever, and Georgia and Alabama are playing each other for the national championship, I will lose my mind.
Roll Tide. I mean, it could be either Notre Dame will get mopped up again, or maybe it could be Michigan State. They can get an untoasted bagel again. That's fine with me. I don't care. Roll Tide. Alabama's going to win.
How did you become a Bama fan?
I don't even know about that.
Alabama!
That's a good.
How did I not think of this drop before?
You should go home to Greenbow, Alabama!
The thing I love about that whole scene is he thinks that's like an insult.
Yeah.
It's it's not. Oh, that's good stuff.
I watched the documentary
Alabama!
about Bear and the fedora and you know what I mean. We probably wouldn't wear fedoras right now if it wasn't for that man.
Everyone wore fedoras back then.
Bear wore it.
I'm not discrediting
cool.
he's a good quarterback.
What?
Or head coach? Wow. I'm watching something on my screen and I saw a quarterback, so that's the first thing that popped in my
quarterback.
Head. It's my teammate.
That's my teammate. That's my quarterback.
It's my teammate.
Oh man, but should be plenty of good football this weekend.
Too much good football.
Too much good football. This is the best time of year. So,
I need to go home and buy a second screen.
You should
come over to my house.
I actually have 3 screens set up.
Wait, Ben, I'm shocked. I mean, you have the computer screen and your regular screen.
No, this is what I do, right? So I have my TV. If that TV that's in front of us is my TV, this is literally how I watch college football every weekend. I have my laptop, I have my cell phone, and so I have three games going, and that's not enough.
Oh,
hey, come to my house. I got the 2 TVs on the wall.
I was going to say, I need the Mic Pro set up here soon.
I've seen the Mic Pro set up in person.
Because when it's good week, it's like this. I don't have cable on both TVs, but I'll take the cable box out of my bedroom, put it in the living room. Now I watch whatever game.
How's your girl manage through all that stuff? Out of curiosity.
Oh, she hates it, but that's why you got to get foot rubs and do things earlier in the week to pay
and
off.
Eat that W with her toes.
eat that W.
And eat that W.
Or eat the V, depending on how you prefer.
God.
I'm not trying to show you up, but I am. College basketball season, now that it's started,
yes.
I got 4 screens up in my basement. I got 2 our main TV. Got a TV right next to it, and then I have my 2 computer screens.
Mike, I gotta see this setup. I gotta see your setup too. I gotta see.
I'd send it to you, but
if I didn't own a house and a roof that I have an estimate for, it might cost me $4,800 right now. I have a lot of anger that I've somehow suppressed. Somehow, I don't know how I have, but today I'm getting an estimate on my roof, and I'm not happy about it. So, anyways, that's why I was saying, show some love.
What, to get an estimate in the dead of winter?
Yeah, I have to, because it leaked into the living room by my TV. It started leaking. So I'm like, I have to get this fixed ASAP. If
you better
I don't,
do like everybody else. Get your ass up there and nail a tarp into the springtime.
So that's some ghetto ash.
hey, it's gonna cost you about an extra probably $1,000 to do it in the wintertime than it does in the springtime.
That's true.
So you better tighten up.
All right, so find us on iTunes, find us on Podbeam. Coming soon, find us on Spotify as soon as Spotify approves everything that's gone through.
Basically anywhere that a podcast exists. So
yes, exactly. So we'll be back next week.
Hey, and watch the Pistons games. They don't suck.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, talking out of both sides of your mouth there, Stan Van Gundy. All right, we out.